Yo, welcome back. Return of the Mac, episode 105.
Let's get it.
M.A.C, Moss, Andrew, Carl. What's good, fellas?
What's poppin'?
Man, back in the lab.
Another day, another dollar.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Nice Saturday.
3-day weekend.
Yeah.
Happy 4th, if you're listening to this now.
Right.
Get double the Independence Days.
I feel like nobody's celebrating the 4th like that no more. I don't even know of any cookouts going on.
Did Juneteenth take over? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
I ain't seen nobody doing nothing that weekend either.
Not really. I mean, they were cooking out. I see people cook out. No fireworks like that, but I don't know. I feel like
There was some fireworks
I
here
don't be
last
outside
night.
like that. So
they will be letting off fireworks and stuff as made. I'm talking about like people personally.
Definitely
like,
heard some fireworks last night.
Had their own little celebrations and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen a bunch of people getting all their food ready today and stuff. I'm not doing anything for the 4th, but I feel like I still see it.
Just shoot.
People just need a reason to celebrate. Any reason to celebrate and cook out, eat food and stuff.
Especially because outside open, you can do shit now.
Yeah.
Outside all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So it sounds like y'all aren't doing anything special for.
I don't know yet.
I ain't got shit playing right now.
Waiting to hear what happens.
Yeah, I want to see what happens.
I might go to Jay's. I mean, Jay's cookout.
Yeah.
Go to that.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know. I haven't really heard of anything special. Or I'm sure we'll fall and find something. If not, I'm gonna put my own shit on the grill. A couple hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff.
Still eat, right? Yeah.
Give me some sparklers and some poppets or whatever.
Kids love the
Girls will love
sparklers.
that.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Sparklers for you though, not the kids.
Nah, he wants to love poppers.
They kind of fun.
The poppers,
I like little Papa John's,
The
bro.
poppers I like. The sparklers, every time I've done them, it's like, oh, all right. So what are we supposed to do now? We're just standing here holding them.
They're for children when it's
Start
dark
spinning them
outside.
for
You
5
just spin it
seconds.
around. They're cool.
But certain kids take it another level, be trying to like stab you with it.
Yeah.
Badass kids.
You gotta go. Somebody get your kid.
Use that joint like a wand.
Speaking of kids, we were just talking about kids right before we started.
Yeah.
You want to tell us your life guideline that you're living by?
Oh, I'm
rule?
not having any children past the age of 30.
No kids past 30.
And can you tell the audience how old you are now?
I am 29. Right. I'm not having any children past the age of 30. I think look.
I mean, but you already got two. You 2 in.
I'm good.
So you kind of good.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm just saying, like I've got my shit mapped out.
Yeah. And you got boy and girl, so you checked off boxes.
I checked them off. By the time I'm 46, 47, I'm gonna be done. Motherfuckers gonna have graduated by then, and maybe.
Oh, you talking about with the kid?
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were saying.
I'm done. I quit life.
I'll be on vacation. I'm gonna be chilling. Like I'm not gonna be taking care of nobody at that age. I don't want to have. I don't want to be 45 holding a baby,
chasing around a little kid.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
That's a good point.
52, fucking at a little league game. I don't. This is not things I want to just. I want to just chill. I want to. That's it. When I get to that age.
Yeah.
You got a hard 30 rule.
Unless your kids have kids by that point, then it's like you might still be at a little league game.
Hopefully, I'm not experiencing that.
You might still be at a little league.
That reset button y'all were talking about.
But I'm fine with that because
right.
at the same time, it's like
how it's supposed to go there.
I'm only obligated to do so much at that point in time.
Oh yeah.
I still have my own time.
Yeah.
Hopefully. You better have your responsible daughter.
Yeah. You could be designated babysitter.
There's a lot of grandparents that aren't doing little casual
that shit
helping.
ain't happening. I'm fine with, look, I don't even want to think that far down the line. Actually,
we getting too deep.
Let's not talk about this.
Shit. Bro, look, that's a long ways away. We're talking about like 25 years away. 25 years away, some shit.
Plenty of time to get that figured out.
Who knows, man? But look, I'm telling you, hard cutoff at age 30 for me.
Understood.
Hard cutoff.
You got that too?
I mean, I didn't make an age number. At one point, I was still thinking about having another. But my daughter about to be a teenager this year, like this month.
You might as well go.
I'm almost at the end of the race, like he was talking about earlier. Like I don't know if I want to hit that reset button again. I'm almost at the end of the road, but I mean, even though you're a parent for a lifetime, we don't really cut off at the governmental legal age.
Talk to him, right?
You know what I'm saying? You still got to be a parent after
the
that.
amount of responsibility changes.
That's a bar.
They come more responsible for themselves.
True.
That's
That's a fact.
I don't have to work.
That's a fact.
It doesn't matter. I don't have to be hopeful.
But they
have to be hopeful.
I ain't never really,
that they do.
I ain't never really accepted like because you 18 now, you grown, you should be able to handle it. Ain't nobody ready at 18, really.
No,
who you know that was actually like
that's a good
ready
point.
for life at 18 just because they turned 18?
But I'm not saying like, oh, you gonna be done, but you're an adult now.
Yeah, I mean,
you're like self-sufficient.
Gotta start making your own decisions.
I can leave. I can do whatever the fuck I want, and don't have to really worry about what you're doing to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how to take care of yourself at this point. You're fine. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna kick my kids out the house or anything, but they're gonna have to be doing something. They want to stay 18. You're gonna have to go to school.
It depends, because sometimes you might kind of worry a little bit more as they get older because they out in the free world now.
The problems
and it's
are
like,
bigger.
It's not like you're not really in control of the situation there. So now whatever happens is like,
I'm not gonna worry about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Stuff.
You say that now.
No, seriously.
Wait till they start go out moving and maneuvering a little bit.
I mean, all you can do for your kids is,
especially a little girl.
All you can do for your kids is tell them what you believe is right from wrong, and then after that you let them go, and hopefully the lessons that you gave them, then they'll listen to them. But I can't. A lot of that stuff outside of it, I just know I can't control it, so I'm not gonna stress out about stuff like that because I know at the end of the day they're gonna make their own decisions. And they're gonna have to learn from their own mistakes. I'm just hoping that you could use some of my advice of what I've experienced throughout my life to, make it easier for you. But if you want to learn the hard way, fuck it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's
so
how I feel about it.
It's so much easier for dad to think like that.
Yes.
That's how my dad was. Like, they were pretty strict as I was growing up. But once I reached 18, actually I was 17, and finished high school, it was like, we taught you everything we can.
Right.
Now you got to decide if you're going to follow what we taught you or not. And dad was pretty hands off. Mom still wants to keep tabs. She wants to check in. Are you sure you want to do this?
I was talking about mom's before I came over here. Like, it's still different. Like, it is a different dynamic.
Totally different dynamic.
That's a fact.
Luckily for us.
Dads can let go. Like, all right, you got it now.
Yeah.
Well, my mom was trying to kick me out the house when I was 18.
Well, all right.
Like, almost like, you got to get the fuck up out of here type shit.
Well, you're a problem.
Yes.
No,
that's a different dynamic.
I was my mom's favorite
it was
child.
definitely my pops that was ready for my ass to get about the crib with the quickness.
Your mom was just tired of you. She was just annoyed. She was like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah, so she got tired of me eating up all the shit in the house, probably.
That'd be that one though. When you just banging shit, and you ain't supporting nothing, you ain't paying for nothing, you just chilling.
You don't gotta replace nothing.
That's how it look like. You just, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know more, you just gonna eat all the bacon, huh? Just all the bacon gone.
That's how it was.
Those were the days, man.
It's like, I always tell her, like, what do you buy all this stuff for? You buy it for me. Like, let's be real about it. If I wasn't here, you wouldn't need all of this stuff.
That's a good point. Now, when Carter gets old enough and he's eating all your food,
I'm fine with it.
You're gonna feel totally different.
I know things are gonna come full circle.
You're gonna feel totally different.
Will they?
I know this thing's gonna come full circle. It's all good. It's all good. Eat up, youngin, because one day you're gonna have to buy all your shit yourself, and But right now, I'm fine with support.
I can't wait till that day. I can't wait till that day.
Till what day? So you don't have to buy all this
they
extra food
understand like all this shit costs.
Oh yeah.
Like ain't none of this shit just get here for the free. Like it's just all
kids have no like
they have no sense, and they ain't supposed to.
Sense of, right,
they ain't supposed to. They ain't their responsibility. But it's like at some point it's like, yo, you realize like you can't just be throwing shit away. Like,
do you remember?
Like, just because you ain't buy this, you can't just throw nothing away.
You threw the whole thing away.
The whole thing.
I would have drunk that.
No, we can't do that.
Do you remember anything specific that your parents used to do or get onto you about that used to bother you that now, as an adult, like specifically the financial piece, you're like, oh God, that made perfect sense. I'll give you an example because one that immediately comes to mind. Anytime we went out to eat, because we also had quite a bit of my childhood where there was somebody living with us at a time. So we went out to eat, it'd be like, 6 of us.
Right.
And we're always getting waters for everybody. Like, order whatever food you're going to get, within reason and stuff, but we're getting 6 waters. And as a kid, I was like, yo, I loved soda. I was like, this is whack. Like, let me just get a soda. This is stupid,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
You see it now and it's like $2.50 for a drink.
Yeah, right.
It's like, yo, you just spent an extra $20.
That shit adds up.
Yeah,
Right,
easy.
right.
Easy.
That's my example. Do y'all have anything in mind that your parents used to get on to you about that now it's like, yo, they were just tired of paying for this shit?
I mean, of course, you get like the lights and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I started thinking about. Like, what was the thing that they used to lights and the AC?
Yeah.
Yo,
Leaving the door open
the AC
when
and
the
the
AC
type of
is
shit.
on.
Oh, yeah, that type of shit, or just like having it on. Like
Yeah.
it was like a monitor. Like on certain times of the day, you had that shit on.
But no,
this bill gonna be crazy. If you had that shit on all
but
day.
I was telling my girl, it's different in black households, like households. When it comes to AC than like white people's households and shit. Have you, like,
Is it?
Well, explain, and I'll tell you if this is true or
black
not.
black people keep their shit hot. Most black people don't like run their AC all the time. Like you'll be shocked. Like especially like older black people anyway, not nobody like our age. We're gonna run the AC because we like shit. That's how we grew up in hot ass households and shit. So I'm like,
I'm gonna have this AC
I'm not
pumping
going
all day.
Right, I'm not going through that no more. But growing up, bro, mama running the AC all day.
Right.
That's just not gonna happen. You better open the window. You better turn your fan on.
Also, I haven't like lived in a house yet. Like when you have a house and you have AC running, the bill goes up crazy
Right,
to AC
yeah,
that whole
that's
house.
true. Right, exactly.
So it's like, well, it probably should be on my ass. Like, yo, don't just have this heat on all day. Cut it off at certain times. Let it like, don't just have this shit running all day long because the bill gonna be $400 this month. Like that shit running all day long every day.
That is true. There's a big difference with the house. And so my mom was always hot. Like temperature wise, that sounded so weird when I said it.
My mom's hot.
My mom was hot natured. My dad is always cold. So, he kind of let mom run the household when it came to stuff like that. So we did keep the air running for sure. But
Yeah.
it was mostly because of mom than anything else.
Bro,
but I
you
feel
gonna have some sweaty nights. If you grow up black, you gonna have some sweaty nights, bro.
Yeah.
do y'all still
Turn the fan on. Get an AC unit. Just to cool your room.
Those are nights where you gotta stick the leg out, just to try to get some.
Oh, that's every night.
You
That's
gotta
how I
just
sleep.
stick your leg out or something. You like
Gotta have a fan.
Still want some cover because it make me comfortable.
Gotta have a
but
fan.
I can't. It's too hot to cover my whole body up right now.
Do y'all still do that
in
now?
the attic too.
Yeah,
Like, my room was like the attic in the house.
Had one of
Bro, the
those.
summers was kind of miserable, bro.
Yeah.
The summers was miserable.
It's like, how did I make it? I'm treated like a slave in here.
It seemed like a dope idea. Like y'all got the attic to myself.
It was still hot up that motherfucker, bro. Like,
Yeah.
but hey, I had the whole attic to myself. Like my room though. Fuck it.
Do y'all still do that now? Where you still try not to use the air that much or as early as possible?
Like I said, it's different now because I haven't like lived in like a house. I've been living in a townhome and shit. So it's not the bill not that bad to have the AC on.
Carl's about to tighten it up. It's about to be 85 at his house.
But that bill will change.
I'm running my shit.
I mean, I feel you.
You gotta decide what's worth it.
Like, bro, it was regular in the summer day for our house temperatures to be like 82 degrees.
Oh God,
that's unbearable.
Hell.
It was normal. Growing up,
That's crazy. Yeah, I know.
It was like 80. I'm like, bro, it's like 86 degrees in this house. We got to turn
outside.
on something. Go outside. I feel fine.
What about the heat? Because y'all don't like to be cold.
Yeah, you gonna run the heat.
See,
They gonna run the heat though.
So I think it's just
I'm different though. I hate the heat. I love being like having it cool.
Oh, okay.
But I get hot easy. I'm a sweater. My pops is the same way.
Got you.
So I just be like, yeah, you kind of like understand me in this, but you still don't want to. He would rather walk around and be sweaty all day than to pay that high ass bill.
Nah.
Like, yo,
too hot is too much. I could deal with too cold, but too hot is too much.
Yeah,
right. It's too cold. You can put on.
You can put something on.
You can put
a blanket.
You can get you a blanket. Too hot, bro.
You're just gonna be hot.
A fan when it's hot is not helpful.
Just blowing hot.
It just reminds you. It's a constant reminder of how hot it is because it's just blowing hot air on me.
It feels a little better, but I know what you're talking about.
It's not.
Especially if you got it on the swing when it's not on you. It's like, fuck, it's hot at this motherfucker.
Keep walking.
For a few seconds.
I hate the swivel, man. I hate to put it on the swivel, man. I need that direct.
Need that direct on high, straight on me.
Facts.
Oh no.
Facts.
Yeah.
We'll get into
Good old
that
days,
first,
though, bro.
man.
Yeah, that was a good start. What do y'all want to start with? I have no idea.
What do we have this
Playoffs.
week?
Playoffs?
We going right into playoffs?
Let's get it, man.
We can knock it out real quick.
May as well. So, we got to figure out where we were last week. Last week we recorded Saturday, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that night, 84-80 win for the Suns to go up 3-1. I don't remember anything about that game. That sounds terrible.
That was a horrible
84-80.
second half game where they went like 8 straight minutes of not scoring or some shit like that. Was that game?
Gotta be.
It gotta
that
be
score.
that minute.
Judging
That
by
was
the
that
score.
Yeah, and then like
So-
PG kind of brought them back, but Suns still
we
pulled that
think-
shit off.
At this
I
point,
think PG
has,
missed the free throws again in that one too.
has Paul George redeemed himself, or do you still consider him kind of in the same boat?
I mean, I think he's changed the narrative a little bit in that he obviously has shown that he was able to perform at a high level in an intense playoff.
Without
Picture.
Kawhi, I think Kawhi getting hurt really helped him
Yeah, I agree.
because now the bar ain't like, oh, it's still y'all gotta make it win a championship. Still, it's like if y'all can beat this team in the series, then it's like, oh, that's a big step that you took. PG completed the series.
Yeah.
He made it to the conference finals still without Kawhi.
Right.
So it kind of made a difference.
And that's
It wasn't like,
it's the first conference finals in Clippers history, ain't it?
is it the first in history?
I don't think.
I think so.
I don't
I think it might
they've
be.
ever been to the
I
Western
think it
Conference
is.
Finals before.
You're right.
But I think you'll see the Paul George narrative change back again very quickly with 1 or 2 bad performances. Like
in the postseason.
I don't think it's fully changed. I think he did what he needed to do to open up people's minds that he's not this just terrible, not clutch performer.
How y'all feel
But
about what he said after that game?
what did he say?
What
Where he said if Kawhi played, we would have won.
Nah,
I saw a headline
I don't
of
know
that.
if he said that, but he was just talking about his name. People making fun of him and ridicule that he get. He's like, I don't understand it. I feel like y'all going overboard or something. I forgot exactly what he said, but he kind of played it like why y'all like be carrying me like this? Like y'all know I'm kind of good. Like I don't know.
I mean, he probably does get a little bit more like
He absolutely
scrutiny than
gets
he
more.
deserves.
Yeah.
But
He started
Yeah,
this.
yeah. He avoids the fact that he created the name.
He made the playoff
He
P.
called himself Playoff P.
I agreed
you
with
can
him.
show up every time if you play off P.
That was when he was with OKC.
Right.
With him and Melo and Russ.
He donned the playoff P on himself, and then I agreed with him wholeheartedly in that interview post game after Dame hit the game winner on him.
Yeah,
But
that
his
was that
response to the Dame game winner didn't help his case at all. Where he kind of doubled down on it was a bad shot. I did what I had to do.
Right.
This kind of thing.
Bad moment.
So
you know.
I feel for him to an extent because he gets more criticism than he deserves. I also don't care that much because I feel like he initiated the criticism.
Right.
But you got to tip the cap to what he was able to do this
That's what he
postseason.
said he gets more than everybody else. He feels like people put more on it than everybody else gets, or some shit like that. I'm like, bro, like you started this. You created this monster. You can't give yourself a title and then suck in the playoffs every year afterwards. Like,
Not if you're gonna call yourself playoff P.
yeah, like you put that distinction on yourself. Like people probably would just let you ride if you didn't do that. It would have been that bad.
Right.
But hey, you know.
I mean, we can fast forward to keep it in that series. So Clippers won game 5. Pretty much blew them out. 116 to 102.
Yeah.
It did. I think he went for 40 that game.
I think it was
He
even
went
more.
crazy.
He went nuts that game. He went for 41 on 15 for 20 shooting.
Yeah.
That's retarded.
Yeah.
That's some Kawhi type
75%.
stuff
I think they
super
said that was the
efficient.
first in the history too in the playoffs.
of that high
Shoot, have a
percentage.
40-point game with that high percentage. of
That
shooting.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. 75%.
Yeah, he
People don't do that
absolutely
often.
balled
No,
out.
not when you're an actual shooter.
No.
You're actually shooting jump shots and stuff, so it's definitely impressive.
That was-
Closeout game though, game 7.
Yeah, went down.
Chris Paul went off.
Went nuts.
He went for 41.
41, right?
That was the biggest game of his career.
16 for 24 is nothing to shake your head at neither, but
No
41 points, and I don't know how many he had in
no
the fourth.
turnovers.
Oh wow, no turnovers to go with the 8 assists.
No turnovers, which
That's impressive.
It seems like every time he does it, it's still like, what? Like, you ain't turned him over not one time.
Just one time.
The whole game, not one turnover.
And do you think it's because, like, Chris Paul don't get, like, super fancy? Like,
he's not going to make the bad
decision. He's just
decision.
making the right play. Like, Steph Curry turned the ball over a lot of the time just because Steph doing Steph shit.
He going to try the extra
step. He's stepping up too much. He might lose the handle or make.
Steph is super reckless with the ball.
Yeah,
super reckless.
Yeah, right.
He'll be off the dribble.
Biggest green light in the league.
Toss.
He got the biggest green light in the league.
Or like the one that you think
and
about
you gotta give it to him.
is when Klay Thompson. I think it was in the finals when they lost to the Cleveland when he did the behind the back pass to Klay Thompson.
Yeah,
and it went out of bounds. It's like you really just should have did a regular one-handed or bounce pass or something to him.
He was trying to show off a little bit.
But you had to put some flair on it, and Klay wasn't expecting it. So I mean, Steph has some plays like that. Chris Paul's game is not like that. It's just legit. Like, I'm the floor general, and I don't really need all of that fancy
without error
crossovers and shit like that to get to my spots or to get in the right areas to make a play. Blah, blah, blah.
I think that definitely has a lot to do with it. I think his intelligence and maturity obviously has a lot to do with it, because he does. You can see him out there seeking out specific matchups and
controlling
stuff.
the game.
He really is fully in control of the game. That's a good way to say it. But do you know how many he went for in the fourth? Because that game wasn't
I think it was
close.
like 16 or something, or it might have been more than that.
I feel like it had to have been more.
He went crazy.
I fell asleep during the quarter.
Oh, really?
They were winning the whole game. I had a good feeling they were going to win, but I passed out in the third quarter, woke up in the fourth with 30 seconds left, and they had beat the hell out of them.
Yeah.
But can y'all tell me anything about what happened with Pat Bev, who lost his mind and just went for the weak shot?
They the same, not caliber of player, but they live in the same area of trash talking, doing a couple dirty moves during the game type shit. They both had that stigma. So they was doing that the whole series. It kind of intensified that game because it was an elimination game for the Clippers or whatever.
Yep.
They at home, yada, yada, and the Suns kind of took over the game. They had the game in the bag early in the fourth. It was kind of over. But what the fuck happened? I think Chris Paul was just walking back to the bench.
Yeah.
Chris Paul clearly said something.
It looked like he kind of said something.
He clearly said something, but it don't matter. It could have been no worse than what he had been saying the whole series. Right. Like, he had said some foul shit during the whole series, so it was like...
Well,
I think it was just probably something where Pat Bev was frustrated because you was about to go home, and Chris Paul probably said something to, like, solidify that. Like, y'all motherfuckers done or something. I don't know.
Sit your ass down.
Right, something like that. He said something to let them know, like, hey, we busting y'all ass and y'all about to go home, and he didn't like that at that moment because it was the truth.
I think it could have been relatively minor, whatever he said. But knowing that there's no penalty, it was just like a fuck it.
Right.
I'm going home regardless. You're not going to suspend me for tomorrow's game.
That's true. That's true, too.
He just let it ride. And then
made it weak. Because you can't dish it out like Pat Bev be dishing it out. And then can't take it when you take that L.
I thought it was soft just on the grounds of like...
I hate that.
I mean, it looks like...
front runner,
when you watch the video, it looks like a child pushing like another child. Like, that's how they do. Like, I'll push you in the back type shit. Yeah. Like, that's what... It don't look like a man going after another man. You know what I'm saying? Like you really want some. Like, you push this dude in the back.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna turn you around or something. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hold you up. I'm gonna jack you up against the wall.
I thought you were throwing off the dukes like this.
Or that. Either that, you know what I'm saying? We can do that too.
I guess shout out to the Suns for keeping their composure, but somebody should have sparked off on Pat for that.
What happened?
But it's
somebody that don't play got to spark off on Pat for that.
I was gonna say it's gotta be somebody that doesn't matter.
There was a couple of them standing right there with their warm ups on. You know they ain't getting not 1 minute in that game. You gotta spark off for him. You can't let that happen to your point guard like that.
I don't think it was like. Did you see how hard Chris flopped even on the push?
Yeah.
My man is a seller.
He did.
His body went limp like he was a dead fish. Bro.
I know Chris Paul got a lot to like. I mean, it's his first finals and everything, and he got a lot to lose. But man, you gotta have some self-control. Like, you push me like that, I'm just gonna react. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough control.
I thought fight was about to break out.
Yeah,
it's like nothing happened.
I don't know if I'm gonna have enough control to like not do anything to you.
So you know how like Well,
Chris Paul ain't really about that. He got snuffed by Rondo a couple years ago.
Rondo
Remember that
snuffed
shit?
him good.
He snuffed him. He was
hit him
nothing.
good,
He
yo.
snuffed his ass.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Rondo
he
hit him
snuffed
good.
his ass
But
straight up.
He said Rondo spit on him or whatever.
I think it was an
first.
accident.
But I think that was a lie.
That
So
situation.
he spit on you.
Rondo
He
off
spit
the
on you
face
and
and shit.
snuffed you.
Yeah, it was a good shot too. It was a straight shot to the nose.
The Pat Bev situation reminded me of like Chris being like the older brother that is intentionally antagonizing the younger
Yeah,
brother.
so he felt like he
Exactly. It was
won.
like kids.
He felt like he really
So
won.
then when you
Yeah.
get hit, it's not like the same type of vitriol reaction of this dude just pushed me in the back. It was like, aha, got his punk ass.
Yep, I got you. I got you. Got you all emotional right now.
I thought it was pretty cool to watch how excited Chris was at the end of the game. Like he was just running all over the place,
Yeah.
like just hype, screaming, yelling, dapping up people.
great-
A big hug with the coach.
It was good to
I got
see.
a lot of respect for. I just went blank on his name, Monty
Monty Williams.
Williams.
Yeah.
He just seems like the coolest dude. Anytime they were talking about like stuff going on during the game, where they would talk about, they kept bringing up to him saying, "I'm not calling you out, I'm calling you up to like get better when I criticize you,"
I love
kind of
those type
thing.
of coaches.
He just
Because you gonna listen
seems
to everything
like
that they say.
Yeah.
Because they ain't got to
Coach speak.
scream on you
Right, that's
to
good
get a
coach
reaction.
speak.
They just got to tell you what it is and what it ain't.
That's
and then you just
exactly.
keep it moving.
He seems like a just soft-spoken dude that's just
Yeah.
like, I'm here to coach you. I'm not gonna scream at you and do all this stuff, but I like him a lot. Seems like a cool dude.
Which is good because they're a real young team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
young guys on that team. There's only like two veterans really. It's Crowder and CP3.
Oh, you said veterans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aiton seemed to be giving it up to Chris Paul every chance he's gotten over the past week, just shouting out how much of a help he's been to his career.
CP3
Thought that
might
was
have
pretty
made
dope
him-
too.
CP3 might set him on the path to be a Hall of Famer. For real, I thought for this season.
At least set him on path to be a superstar.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Aiden's going to be a great player. Like
Yeah.
I said,
He's got some good moves.
Yeah.
looking at his
He got game.
He doesn't use them
And he's
often.
like a typical big man too, because he don't step outside.
Right, he a
15
real
feet.
deal big man.
Yeah.
Like if you look at his career numbers, to this point, they're better than what Dwight Howard's were. When
Are they?
Yeah,
That's
in
cool.
like every single category. So,
Both sides of the floor.
and I think he got more of an offensive definitely got more of an offensive package
Yeah.
than Dwight Howard ever had. So
does.
he's just not going to be the defender that Dwight Howard was. But that's a give and take that you get, especially in today's.
Well, he's pretty decent defender
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
He's pretty
Well,
good.
you're a 7-footer. You're gonna be a rim protector at some
true.
point. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
hopefully.
Just put your hands up. So, yeah. I mean, that was a good series. I think. I thought the Clippers had a chance at it, man, but I don't know. You know, it was just
Another thing,
Tough
CP3
one.
putting out both LA teams in Staples Center this playoffs.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That is
Nobody
wild.
could have ever expected that shit to happen.
That's a pretty
with
cool.
the injuries, though. I mean, it
Yeah.
makes it different. It does make it
It
different.
does. It does.
Sure.
So,
In fact, it does.
Still pretty cool.
Yeah. People won't remember the injuries years later. They just remember
No.
the run.
Right.
I mean,
They just remember the
a
run.
lot of people are saying like how the injuries ruined this postseason, and to me,
It kind of did, but it, you know.
but it kind of made them better as well because it's like it made it unexpected, and then we're like again, like my point last week, we're seeing new teams being able to blossom or
Left them more
being
wide
able
open.
to get the spotlight as new players that never really had this opportunity before and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So.
I think that part has been really cool. We talked about that last week, but I think we might have run into a point now where the injuries have ruined the playoff, not to ruin the whole playoffs, but at this point, I'm
bad.
pretty disappointed about watching a finals that could be without Giannis or Trey.
The East is,
Yeah,
the East is in
that's
shambles.
That's
right
gonna
now.
really
That's different.
suck to
The
watch
East
the
is in
championship.
shambles. It's
It'll
kinda
be
bad.
cool if Chris can get his ring and stuff, but
Not like this.
no, it's boring.
Not like this. So what's up with Trey? What's his injury?
Ankle. Turned it on the ref's foot.
Stepped on the ref's foot.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
That game pissed me off.
He
too.
like took a three and just, you know how you kind of step backwards one step to take off to go
right.
up court.
Right,
He
right,
stepped
ref's
on the
foot.
ref's foot, and I think they've been saying it's a bone bruise right now.
Yeah, bone bruise.
He is still questionable for tonight, I believe. I don't know if they're just playing coy or if he really is going to make a
Right.
comeback.
Not gonna be able to
But
move.
Giannis is out.
he's questionable. Giannis is out for Game 6. They said potential he could return for a Game 7.
Yep, hyperextended knee.
I mean,
That Giannis injury looked nasty.
yeah.
It looked like
looked
his
pretty damn
knee
bad.
went the opposite direction, and I assumed he was done for
Yeah.
6-7 months immediately.
It's like,
The
damn, back
Bucks
to
are
back.
so much more well equipped without Giannis than the Hawks without Trey.
Definitely.
That's a
Like
fact.
the Hawks don't have a chance, I don't think. Bucks have veteran players who have honestly like competed at least deep in the playoffs
For the last 3-4 years.
2-3 at least the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So
I think the biggest difference is that they don't have a ball handler though.
yeah,
I mean,
With Drew.
You talking
no,
about
the
Talking about
Hawks.
the Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
Why am I going blank on dude's name? Mr. Six Man.
Herder Bogdanovich.
Nah, Mr.
Oh,
Six
Lou
Man
Will.
Strip
Lou Will.
Club. Lou Will.
Yeah.
Lou Will
He
can get.
played good that first game. They got a dub in Atlanta.
Well, he can do his thing to get his own buckets.
Right.
But he's
No, he
not.
had a double that first game, remember?
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he was like, he was moving the ball around. He had a great game for real to start.
But that's not his game.
Yeah, he can do his
Right.
thing. I just don't trust it.
Right.
Do his best to try to hold it down, but not quite as well equipped as the Bucks with Drew.
Shout out Brook Lopez, though.
Brook Lopez
He was stupid.
looked like a perennial all-star last game. He was dunking all over
Best game
people
of the
and
season.
stuff.
Literally.
Didn't he have a game like this either last season or 2 years ago in the playoffs? It would have been 2 years ago.
Nets.
Yeah, I think I know you're talking about, but he was doing it with threes.
Threes,
though. He
yeah.
was brucking threes. He had like 7 threes or
He
something.
really is a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Overall,
always solid.
He's the Brooklyn Nets all-time leading scorer.
That's
Yeah.
insanity.
Did you know that? I saw that. I was like, damn, I forgot Brooklyn's
Is
got to
it-
get busy in Brooklyn.
Is it just because
He really
of
was.
Brooklyn?
He was.
It doesn't count New Jersey.
I don't know.
There's no way
It's
he
the
can
same team.
outscore like Richard Jefferson. There's no way,
I
right?
don't know. I think he was there longer than them.
That's crazy.
I think he
That's
was there
nuts
longer
if
than
that's
that.
true.
Oh no, yeah, I'm about to research that.
He balled the fuck out.
Yeah.
Shout outs to him. But Middleton and Holiday did too. They just
Yeah,
they
they
just
did
played
everything.
well as a team, which is kind of what you were saying. Without Giannis, you're just taking the ball out of his hands and putting it into another point guard's
And-
hands. So it's a lot smoother
And the reason
transition.
why somebody like Lopez can be so dominant, especially on the block, is because he can't really do that with Giannis in the game because that's space that Giannis occupies.
That's why he's
good
always
point.
at the corner.
Right. That's why he always is shooting threes in this situation.
That's a
but it's
really
like
good
this
point.
dude is a 7-footer. So
And
you
people
really don't
forget
have
that's how
anybody.
he used to play. He was a
Right.
post-up player.
Right.
You don't really have anybody to guard him.
No.
You can make it rougher on him. You don't really have anybody to guard
You
somebody.
got a skilled 7-footer like that.
with skills and can do all of that. Like he's slow footed, of course, but that shit don't matter when you're 3 feet away from the basket.
Got technique.
Yeah.
Put one
That's
move
it.
on you, get the ball up.
And all I gotta do is put it up at that point.
He's
So,
got kind of the old man games too, like
Yeah.
in the post. He'll give you the up fake, drop step, dunk and stuff, kind of slow motion, but gets
people
where it
don't
needs
do
to
enough
go.
of that though anymore because
They don't know how.
Yeah,
I don't think
right.
people are taught.
He fucked me up when Drew Holiday drove and he pointed up, like throw that shit up. And that ball was like all the way out here. I'm like, yo, did you just fucking catch that shit?
He was
bro?
feeling
I
himself.
was like, oh shit, who is this?
Turn back the clock, man.
Brooklyn Lopez.
Shout out Bobby Portis too. Old Crazy Eyes did his
Yeah.
thing too.
He did. He started.
Reggie
too.
Miller was calling him Crazy Eyes in the game, announcing the game. Did y'all hear that?
No,
Yeah.
no.
I was dying. He was like, Crazy Eyes, Bobby Portis.
Yeah. That's his nickname. That's what they call it. I thought that was wild.
Oh, I wouldn't want my nickname to be crazy.
Hell no, but it's too perfect.
Is this
He
what
looks
everybody
he has
know
some
me?
crazy eyes.
Is this how you gonna introduce me to females and shit?
Yes.
Like, yo, shit, she probably already turned off before she even get here, though.
He got him something after that game.
Yeah,
Crazy
maybe.
Eyes was hooping.
Maybe. Maybe.
Do you think either team has a chance from the East? Whoever makes it to the championship, do you think either team has a chance to beat the Suns?
I think
The Bucks.
the Bucks do if Giannis is healthy. If Giannis is healthy, I think we're looking at least a 7-game series. But
I don't see how there's any chance he can be healthy though.
right, I mean, it looked nasty.
Yeah, that
It's
need
hard to
does change some
imagine.
things.
He might miss a couple games, but
In that case, they'd be better off going 7
yeah,
against the Hawks.
yeah.
Be better off to go into game
Just
7.
extend
Had an extra
Give
game.
an
yeah,
extra
as long as
game.
possible.
And honestly, you could even hold him out of game 1 of the finals
Right, that's what I'm saying.
and just try to
Right.
come back like as strong as possible
Yeah,
for
'cause
game
it's still
2.
time. It's still time. It's a lot
I
of
was
series.
really hoping. I'm still on board with Chris getting the championship, and I like the Suns and stuff. But I really wanted Giannis to get one. I feel like he actually takes more criticism than he should. Kind of going back to the Paul George discussion. I think his game is just so out of place in today's NBA, like with not being able to shoot the ball.
Superstar.
That his inability to shoot, I don't think people can look past that to fully acknowledge his greatness. I don't think like he's hated on, like people don't think he's great. Don't get me wrong. People recognize him as a unicorn and stuff, but I think his shooting is just such a mental block for people that he gets more hate, in my opinion, than he deserves. Do y'all think that's out of line or not?
No, I don't think he gets over criticized. I think he gets what he's supposed to get, especially being the MVP, a back-to-back MVP. But did we talk about that little clip when he was shooting his free throws and he was talking about?
No, we didn't.
There's a little clip that came out where he was talking to PJ Tucker. He was shooting the free throw. He was like, "Yo, I ain't been through it all. I came from the bottom of this. I didn't airball back-to-back free throws. I didn't miss these. I didn't did all of this." So he was like, it showed me that Giannis like kind of owns it in a sense, like he don't care about. I don't think he cares about the criticism at all. I don't think it affects him at all and how he plays. He just like, whatever. If I airball, I just airball it. You gotta go back and get it again. Like, so that's the difference between him and like a Ben Simmons or a PG, where it's like, I'm gonna go hard in the paint every time, no matter if I keep airballing these free throws. I'm gonna keep shooting them. I'm gonna still pull up a couple threes. Like
his mentals are strong.
Yeah. It's like he don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna still go hard every play, no matter what. And that's I kind of respect that a little bit.
I mean, you do need that. Like you don't want to lose confidence in those areas of the game. And and I still feel like,
especially we talk about that mental thing. Like I don't think that affects him.
At some point, you're gonna. I know people say like he's a bad shooter or whatever, but at some point you're gonna have to shoot him regardless. Like at least one or two a game, you're gonna have to. It's good basketball.
If they leave you that open, you gotta at least take one or two.
Shooting, it's just part. Even if you miss it, it's still good basketball. So, I mean, I'm glad that he doesn't lose confidence, but just because it keeps the natural flow of the game. If he's playing the right way and stuff like that,
he can change the whole.
He's gonna get his opportunity
because the team gonna move how you move. You the star.
Right,
if you playing scared and timid, then the team gonna play like that.
Right. Yeah, we saw that.
Move. Yeah,
we saw that.
Somebody had made a point to say though that they think that the Bucks might be just as good without Giannis. And I'm like, nah, it's after one fucking game.
That's one of them game to game analysis.
Right. Yeah.
Just
like after one game.
Beat a Hawks team with no young on the floor.
They're saying it was because it's like when Giannis does get the ball in the corner or something, he's wide open and he ends up airballing a three. They say it's almost like
that is deflating,
demoralizing or something like that to the team, or like they could kind of lose momentum like that.
It's definitely deflating.
But it's on the same side. It's like, but you can gain momentum once you get this dude the ball and he got space and he jamming on.
You'll accept those two air balls if he giving you 30 and 20.
Yeah.
It's give and take.
when he's floating in the air with nobody able to stop him from 4 straight dunks, it's we get the benefit of him too.
Right, exactly.
You gotta take the good with the bad.
I like more like what you were talking about. I like Giannis, the person, on top of his game. So I'm definitely more sensitive to his criticism than other players. But I feel like it's kind of similar to my criticism of Harden and maybe some of the criticism towards Russell Westbrook that you don't like. That it's people want to establish yes or no that you can win with this type of basketball.
Right.
So everybody that doesn't care for Giannis or he's not their favorite, they like want to show you can't win with him playing the way he plays.
Yeah. And it's not fair.
So it's probably not fair the way I do it to Harden. But I was just curious what y'all thought about the Giannis, the criticism he gets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking of Giannis, let me go ahead and get this shit out the way.
Yes. We got gambling
been
problems.
on this betting gambling shit, right? So I don't know. You've been gambling for a while. Have you ever lost some money because a player got injured that you had bet on in the game?
I have.
Has happened, right?
Not very often, but I have.
It happens. It's part of the game. Yep. Somebody gets hurt, you got to take that L.
Yep.
Recently, I think the game Trae Young got hurt. I had put a bet on him to be the top scorer of the game. He was the top scorer of the game at the moment. He got hurt at 32 points. Got hurt, and then Middleton scored 20 in the fourth and
goes for 38.
Yeah. Went crazy. I'm like, fuck. All right, got to take that L. Couple days later, the next game actually, Hawks, Bucks, Giannis gets hurt in the game. Not FanDuel. DraftKings had a boost on his bet to bet that he would be the top scorer of the game with 30 points or some shit.
No, it was FanDuel.
Was it FanDuel?
Because they both had boosts. FanDuel had the highest score in the game for Giannis,
right?
And DraftKings had a double-double for Giannis.
Okay,
at
yeah.
plus 100.
Right.
So he gets hurt and leaves the game with, I think, 16 points, 8 rebounds.
Yeah, it's the third quarter.
He's 4 points behind Lil Will,
yeah.
With a quarter and a half left.
Yeah.
And he leaves the game.
And matter of fact, my boy won a bet on that game with Bogdanovich being the top scorer. He won $100 off a dollar because he ended up being the top scorer of that game, which wouldn't have happened if Giannis didn't get hurt.
Yep.
At the end of the night, DraftKings decides to ask the fans if they want what they want to happen with this bet. So we put this boost on y'all for y'all to bet, and they paid everybody out a winning bet on that.
Yeah, I got paid out. That was on the double-double.
Bro, I got paid out hot about that shit, bro. Like I'm like, yo, this shit just happened to me 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And y'all paying people out because somebody got hurt? Like, that's not gambling, bro. That's not gambling, bro. You can't say, because he got hurt.
Well, oh my God. I thought your beef was that they didn't hook you up on the Giannis injury for coming up just short.
No, I didn't bet that day. I was pissed.
You're mad that other people got paid out.
I'm not mad that they get paid out.
Oh, that's fucked up.
But it's to keep that same energy, because now when this shit happens again, because it's going to happen, it's basketball, football, shit going to happen in sports, motherfuckers going to get hurt. They ain't going to do that shit no more. So why even bring that into the situation of paying people out because somebody got hurt?
This happens, I don't want to say on a regular basis, but this happens periodically.
Does it?
Where there is some sort of contentious play that costs a bet. And it's usually a boost of some kind. Could be an injury. It could be like a bad call that made the guy come up with 99 yards instead of 100 or something. And certain sports books will eat that loss as marketing.
Right.
So they're like, we're the sports book that paid out for the double-double, even though he was 2 rebounds short, because we could tell he was going to get it.
Right.
Shout out to y'all. And then the other sports books didn't. Like FanDuel didn't do anything that same night. Right. But it's just marketing to try to get people to...
I kind of understand the marketing. But that shit pissed me off, though. I was hot about that. Yeah. Like, this is some bullshit right here.
Well, that's funny.
Out because of injuries.
I went to bed mad that night because I lost both bets and then woke up the next day to find out one of them got awarded. Wow. So I was hyped.
Wow, yeah. That shit had me high, bro. Yeah. I mean, I ain't mad. Like, if I was on the winning side, I had made that bet, I would have been happy about that. Yeah. But the fact that I had just lost off of something like that happening the day before.
That is tough.
It's like, what the fuck? All right, whatever.
That is tough.
So, yeah, that was my issue. I was pissed off at that shit this week. But... I guess it happens now. I know it's something that they do all the time. Now and then.
Yeah, kind of periodically you'll see a contentious one, but
that's what it is. What can you do?
That was about it for basketball, right?
Yep.
And we didn't have any football stuff. The name, image, and likeness rule went into effect a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like open season at this point. I've been seeing all kinds of stuff on Twitter of
get this money.
Every random athlete signing with some company or putting out merchandise that they can use now that they weren't able to use before.
There's a fact.
I've mentioned Barstool Sports quite a bit.
Yeah,
they jokingly started like saying we're sponsoring athletes, and it's becoming more of a thing. And I have a pretty strong feeling that old Dave Portnoy over there is going to start up like a wing of business.
Oh, it's a fact. He see the money.
Only for sponsoring athletes. Yeah.
And it's free advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do that.
Their core fan base is more like college age kids. So it's perfect. But what do y'all think about it? I honestly don't know or haven't paid much attention to it.
I think it's great.
It's been coming. I mean, we knew that.
I think we've had conversations about it a bunch.
Yeah.
Like, over the years, and it's just something that's only fair. I mean, I should be able to make money off my own face, or really, take any employment after the age of, like, I can work legally anywhere else. So, I mean, what makes you say that?
Yeah, you can go get a part-time job.
Right. I can work at Best Buy if I wanted to, but why Gatorade wanted me to work for them or wanted to endorse me, then they can't. I mean, it all makes sense to me to allow it. People just say it's not amateur sports anymore. It's like, but that's not even what these people desire to be. They're here because they desire to be professionals.
Right.
Not amateurs anyway.
Nobody stays for 4 years if you can go get a bag.
And if you are getting endorsements and things like that, then you are one of the people that they assume will be a professional anyway. So if you're not, then this is probably where it stops for you.
No, I think
where your career stops.
a lot of even people that's not going to probably be professionals can get a bag too. Like it's open market.
No, I mean not really. You gotta be some kind of good.
No,
to get a bag.
I think we're talking about. I think you're in what you have in mind. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you have in mind is like a massive deal with a huge company, like what a Zion could have got.
Right.
I think
not even a massive deal, just anything. Or you just talking about?
Well, he could have got a massive deal with some kind. Like he could have signed a Nike deal or some shit.
Easily. Right.
But I think you'll see, for Syracuse, one of the Syracuse athletes I was watching has already got like merchandise up and stuff in the town of Syracuse. Any Syracuse face that you could put on there of the top 5-6 players, you could have them endorse your restaurant or some shit.
Yeah,
right.
Where you're bringing in revenue to the local market. So I think there will be a lot of people that will be able to make money.
The Portnoy shot, I seen that clip he was talking about. He had signed a volleyball player.
All random,
just
kids.
random athletes, like just wanting to support from Barstool, and he like, yeah, I'll do that, and that's dope. I fuck with that. Like, of course, the bigger top name athletes, biggest in the country, is gonna get the biggest money brought to them. But at least the person that's like third string can get a bag too if they wanted to, if they maneuver that way to get it. So
unlikely, but
I think it's possible though.
It at least leaves the opportunity.
Even if it's just like a local bag, like doing something for a local business, like you can get a little check from that.
Right. I mean, you gotta have a buzz. I mean, somebody gotta know your name for them to want to invest anything.
For sure.
But colleges is about the teams though. If you own the team, even if it's just the starters, that's still 22 people. It's like,
I'm just saying, there's not gonna be no college linemen out there getting many endorsements, dog. It's gonna be the running backs. It's gonna be the wide receivers.
No, I seen
it's gonna be the quarterbacks.
Deion Sanders was on I'm Athlete talking about his shit, and he was like, "How this shit about to open up for them to get money?" He's like, and then they asked him like, "What about certain players getting more opportunities than them, like you talking about, because they're the stars or whatever?" He was like, "See, I already got that figured out. I already got such and such to get both my lines, defensive, offensive line money. I already got their endorsement just lined up already, so we ain't gonna have them issues of egos and shit in the locker room. If everybody already got their bag set up for them when you come in." I was like, that's dope.
That's what Deion's doing. That's not what everybody.
But you know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't a bigger college do that too?
They might not care.
I think that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Deion doing this at Jackson State. You don't think a freaking D1 big league college could do this for their linemen?
I'm not saying that they can't, but it's like, do they have to? He has to do that at Jackson State. That's part of his recruitment talk to get people to even come there. But Alabama don't have to do that.
No, I think it'll. I think it will.
Yeah, it will.
I think it will, because if you're a top of the line athlete that is being offered a massive deal at Clemson, you're gonna go to Clemson over Bama if they're not doing it. It's all capitalism.
Yeah. The best it's like, if Jackson State is doing this and you Alabama and you not getting your lineman in the bag, how does that look on the D1 school?
I can see if you're talking about Clemson's and Ohio State's competing for it, then
that's what's gonna happen.
But if it's Jackson State, Alabama don't have to pay attention to that as much.
Yes, they do.
But
everybody's going to do this. The way capitalism works, there's going to be the highest payout is going to dictate who plays for who. I think there's two aspects of it. As a fan, I'm looking at this and I'm not super excited. I think it's going to fully change the way college sports are from what it was before. And college sports, for all the things that you can say about, them not paying and all the bullshit rules that they had in place, completely unfair, the rules and guidelines that they had.
Why they making billions?
But what they made was an incredible product. Yeah. And the college sports are amazing. I think we will see that start to change. I don't want to say die out, but it's going to fully change the way college sports operate.
Do you think it's going to affect the players or something? Like, you think? What do you think is going to change? Though?
It directly affects the players.
Yeah,
I'm talking about as far as their performance goes.
There's obviously always going to be powerhouse schools or teams in whatever sport you're talking about, level of sport. But in college, I think there was still an opportunity to have smaller teams come up. They sign a big recruit in basketball or something. They make a come up, Memphis, D Rose type thing. I think you won't see that level of parity be as high anymore. now that it's a free market and you can just go get the bag wherever you want to get the bag. I mean, like, you will have situations where, you know, Bama's already got too many good players now. So that's not going to change with the bag.
Yeah.
They're going to have to pay, and only so many people can play here. They'll have to go somewhere else as well. Yeah. But I think it will change some of the parity and stuff. But that's just from a fan's perspective of what I like to see with college sports. But this had to happen.
Going off what you just said, clear. I don't think the Alabamas and such are going to be able to have, like, remember that 5 running back lineup they had with all them players they had on one team? That's not going to happen no more, because they are not going to be able to get the bag if they all on the same team.
So maybe it could go the opposite way.
You are all nation running back. You're not going to be a 3rd and 4th string behind these other guys.
Yeah.
Where you can, like, do like Kamar did and go to Georgia or somewhere else where you know you're going to be the guy. Oh, Tennessee, my bad. Yeah, go somewhere else and get a bag. Like, it is going to make sense for you.
So maybe it could go the opposite direction of what
I mean, I don't know. What I think is, when I say, like, how it affect the players, I think it could be beneficial to, like, possibly get, like, or more clarity or more clarification on the next level on how some of these guys will act or like, level of responsibility. Because you almost have to treat them like they're professionals at that level as well, especially if you're getting paid for your likeness and stuff. Like, you'll realize how, or say if it was a Johnny Manziel who got an endorsement deal back in the day, Cleveland Browns would have known already, oh, this dude's a wild acting motherfucker. Like, I mean, you kind of had an idea.
They knew that already.
You put that money in their hands, though, and it's like they have so much more opportunity to get into other things and stuff like that. You'll see how much they really care about the sport overall, I think, early on, once you... So, I mean, that's what I mean about, like, affecting players and stuff. I think
you're going to have some fuck-ups.
Right.
You're going to have some fuck-ups.
And that way you don't have to worry about Jamarcus Russells.
I think there's going to be a lot more.
If Jamarcus Russell would have got that money as a freshman, he would have already been fucking up, and he would have never made it to the NFL. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's going to weed people out.
It's going to weed those kind of people out because it's like they already feel like they've reached success, and then the other people who just strive to be great no matter what. Well, I think you'll see more of that going.
Which that happens anyway, but you're saying that'll happen faster because they get money earlier.
Right, you getting the money earlier. It's still it's gonna be the same guys. Yeah, you know the same guys who would have been drafted top 10 or whatever. You're gonna get that money early, and you'll see how they really act. You'll see who they really are at that point.
That's a really interesting perspective from the NFL standpoint. It could help weed out. What do you foresee? Do you foresee there being issues with these? You know, I mean, they talk about the NFL players and stuff, or NBA players not really knowing what to do with their money because they're so young and just haven't had it before. Now, obviously, we're not going to be talking about $6 million that somebody's making per year or something, most likely.
But still be more money than
you're going to be talking about high school kids that just came out of high school that have more money than they've ever had, and they are in an elevated status as a member of the football team and stuff or whatever. You think we'll see more problems in that regard?
It'll be that crazy, because even just being a big star at a big time school, you have a built up ego as well. So money might drive it up a little bit, but not to the point where I don't think it would be like, oh, they gotta chill on getting so much money. They don't even care about the game no more. I don't think it'll be that bad.
No, I didn't mean from
like managing finances and stuff.
I meant like just getting into trouble. College kids are going to be college kids regardless. But when you have no money, it's like
access.
We get in trouble at a house party playing beer pong and start fighting. When you have money, it's like,
you're gonna see
they were out on the club and somebody had a gun or some shit.
You're gonna see more of that. But it's just like I said, I think it's going to be one of them things you'll just see who's really prepared for it or like who's really prepared for the next level type stuff.
So, let's not get it twisted. Like, at some of them top D1 schools, the guys are getting money. They getting money every month. They are paying. They may not be crazy endorsement deal money, but they're getting more money than they've ever had already. If
it might be crazy endorsement money too.
It might be. Yeah, it might be. I'm saying these guys are getting. We've seen docs and people talking about it. These players in Florida, Alabama, but they getting some type of check every month. So that they can live off of.
But, what do you think about the Reggie Bush aspect? I've seen that come out a ton yesterday. Yeah.
They should give it back.
They should have never taken it away. I always thought that was the dumbest thing that they could like ever done in sports in general. It's like
vacating anything in sports is retarded.
Right,
vacating awards, wins, whatever is
because it's not like they didn't do what they did on the field. No, it's not like they. It's not like they took steroids and did it or something like that. Like that was the best player in football. Like who
did you give it to? It's like, oh, you just going to erase this out of the history books, but it's like we know what happened.
Right. Yeah.
We know he was the best. Honestly, he's the best collegiate running back I've ever watched play, and it's like you'll never rob anybody of those memories and. We know he was and won the Heisman. Like, you might as well just go ahead and give it back and just make everything whole again instead of stripping this shit from the record books because he accepted things because he was talented. That's it.
Even if it was steroids, and he like killed somebody after he's won the Heisman, it's done. Right. We saw it happen. You can't take this back.
I mean, to that point, it's like
the steroids thing. I might argue.
I don't care.
They didn't take away. They didn't take away OJ's Heisman. He committed a double homicide.
They're unrelated.
I agree with that. That's unrelated things. But if you use steroids in the season where you won the Heisman, it's going to be some controversy over that.
I think that's
no, look. If before the award is given. This comes out, then absolutely it has to be part of the consideration. Right. I'm saying if he wins the Heisman Award this year, next year we find out that he had steroids the year he won it. Right. I'm completely against going back and vacating.
What's his name? Barry Bonds and them? Do you feel the same way about them in baseball?
No, I don't think you should vacate anything that he's done. He's not in the Hall of Fame right now, and I think it should stay that way.
Why is that?
Because we know he did steroids.
So why is that different from what we talk about with a college player?
Because if he was in the Hall of Fame already, and then we found out he did steroids, I don't think they should take it
back. Okay,
yeah, I'm saying no vacating anything. It's just stupid. We saw it happen.
We saw
it happen. Make sure you keep that same energy with
I feel
steroids.
I feel
I got you.
We all experienced this shit, but to that point though, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He shouldn't. But when y'all don't know baseball, fuck out of here.
I'm just saying.
For
a lot of his career,
when they vacated championships, like from Louisville lost a championship from Rick Pitino getting in trouble.
Yeah,
they did.
Fucking retarded.
Right.
They took 100 wins away from Boeheim after he won his 700th game. So then he lost 100 wins and then won his 700th game again later. It's like, we're not celebrating this. We saw it.
Right.
That's kind of a flex right there. Y'all took it from me. I got it back.
It's cool. But we know he's at 900.
Even though he would be at 8 or 9. Yeah.
The record book puts him at like 810. I know he has 910. It's just stupid.
When we actually like somebody played these games.
Yeah.
He somebody coached these games.
Who played 2004 championship? Right.
You can't just
nobody.
When I go back and look at the statistics of Reggie Bush,
because you're basically trying to erase history.
Yes,
basically. You can't erase history.
When you go back and look at the statistics of Reggie Bush, you're gonna be like, oh well, he was the best player in the nation. There's no erasing this.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
So I don't know. Just go ahead and give it back to him. It just made no sense to me to take it away in the first place. It's just you trying to stick it to. Like I said, I think his NFL career was over or almost over at the point when they took it away from him in the first place. So it's like,
too.
What are we even doing at this point?
I don't think they're trying to give it to him.
They probably are not. But I mean, it's to me, it's like the whole thing about like legalizing weed and shit. Like, all right, so if you make marijuana legal right now, then then you should also let people out who are incarcerated for it.
It's going to open up a door. If you give somebody they think bad, they got to start backtracking and giving
it only makes sense. It's things that you have to do at this point.
Yeah,
you need to. All right, so just like the NCAA, if y'all want to make this shit is legal now, you need to go back and revise some of the things that you did in the past as well too, to make everything whole and to make it right. It's just
some things you can't. Fair. Some things you can't. A lot of people just got kicked out or was ineligible.
Right. I mean, I get that.
Some things you can't reverse.
But like awards and stuff like that was stripped, then you should just go ahead and get that back or anything like that. Just go ahead and remove all of these like stains from people's careers and things. If it doesn't apply today, it shouldn't apply to them then either. So obviously it's that easy to do it.
That's right.
I think that's an interesting discussion that you brought up, and it's going to obviously tie into our next topic is the sprinter.
Yeah, right, for sure.
I don't know her name at all.
Sha Carri
Richardson.
So the sprinter Sha Carri Richardson that got in trouble here for the weed. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how I feel about what you were just saying in this situation in general about going back and correcting all those situations. I agree with you to an extent that it does make sense. If we decided something is not a big deal, then the people that were previously penalized for it shouldn't remain penalized for it.
Are you talking about the Sha Carri shit with that?
Both. The Reggie Bush and the Sha Carri, or we were talking about, just weed in general, going back and letting out people that have nonviolent offenses for possession and stuff like that. If weed is going to be illegal, then they shouldn't continue to be penalized. I agree with that. And then on the other hand, I also can see the side that says, like, if the rule is that you're not able to do this and you knowingly break the rule, then the punishment should still be applied, because the punishment is really for not following the guideline. Right, it's not specific to,
which all athletes know.
Yeah,
what drugs you can and cannot do or whatever.
So
I think it's different with the Olympics thing and Sha Carri, because I think people are don't understand that the Olympics is not an American owned thing.
This was a big question.
Olympics is international. I actually looked some of this shit up just to make sure I was sure.
I'm so glad you did.
Olympics is an internationally owned thing.
Right, for sure.
So it's for the world. And I don't know if people don't know this. Yeah, America might be being easy on the weed, but there's a lot of places in the world where league is not fucked with still.
So can you clarify something for me? Because this is an exact question that I was wanting to find out and I forgot to. Right. So the suspension that she received, is that from an American organization that does the drug testing for American athletes in America?
I don't know that specifically.
Or is that the
I just thought it was just the all-around Olympics guidelines for any athlete that's going to be in the Olympics.
I wish we knew that, because to me that's very important.
Right.
If it's an Olympic guideline that every country is having to follow, then I don't know if there's even any wiggle room for her.
We can't keep putting just American-based stuff on the world. This is an international, worldly sporting event. So it's I understand that, she American, so we more lenient over in America in the last few years or whatever, but it's international. The games is in Tokyo. I don't know if y'all know, but Tokyo can get a 5-year sentence for having weed over there in Japan.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I looked at it, I'm like, they don't play about that shit. Wow. So they're not going to give a damn about how America feels about a player that smoked weed and didn't pass a drug test. You're not going to be in it. You're getting suspended.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. I feel bad for her. I think she said she was dealing with stuff. Her mom had died and stuff like that, so she was sort of stressed out. I understand it. It's all understood, but I think she took responsibility. And that's all you can do.
I think it's dope that she got in front of the camera and stuff. And, the day it broke. I mean, I know for a fact she knew probably weeks ahead of the time what was going to happen.
She knew she messed up.
So, but it's dope that she took accountability for it and stood in front of the camera and answered questions about it. I mean, it's tough because she seems very young. I mean, she looks like 17, 18 or something like that.
I think she's young. I can't remember.
But I mean, it's consequences. It's just like going back to the point I had earlier. You got to pay for your own mistakes and stuff like that. Yeah. That's probably what her parents told her. It's yo, look, I'm sure. Obviously, to this point, they showed her a lot of the right things and stuff to do in life. But at the same time, she's gonna make her own decisions, and you got to pay for those consequences regardless. It's just, it is what it is. You got to go.
And by the way, she's only suspended for 30 days.
1 month. It's a 30-day suspension.
But so the issue is she's going to miss her main event, the 100 meter.
Right.
But she can still participate after that suspension, though.
Right. And the dopest thing that could come from
whatever else she does.
The 4x4, I believe, is the other thing that she was going to participate and will be able to participate in.
So she could still.
If she goes out there and blows the doors off of the 4x4,
it's going to be wild.
It would be the dopest way that she could make her mistake, own her mistake, take her punishment, whoop ass in the other event, and just keep it moving.
Yep.
Yeah,
that would be the best.
That's the real issue. It's not like she can't compete at all. It's just a month, so she's gonna miss her main event, but she can still, be able to participate in it.
I hate the fact that of course it is. The rules are the rules. She violated the rules, but I just hate the fact that it's this is not like any kind of performance enhancement drug or anything like that. So I hate that she has to be suspended for it, but again, it's just the rules are the rules. I'm not gonna sit there and gripe about it or sit here and make any ridiculous posts talking about let her run. No, she violated the rules. She knew what she wasn't supposed to do. So she should be penalized for it. It just is what it is. Maybe they can look into changing the rules in the future.
I understand people feeling bad for her because we fell in love with her, what she did the past week. It's great. It's a messed up thing that happened, but at the same time, you got to like, she put this on herself.
Yeah,
she put herself in this situation. Two things can be true.
Two things can be true at the same time. Like, as just a normal human, I think it would be, you should have some level of empathy for somebody that made a mistake, given that they lost a parent. Like, I don't think anybody should be overly harsh on that, especially when somebody takes accountability for it and says, you know, I messed up. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, the consequences.
And I think, I mean, black people want to root for her so bad, and it's not just because. It's been plenty of like black athletes that's dominated in track, like women athletes that's dominated and stuff like that. But you want to root for her because she looked like
a sister.
Not even a sister. It's just like I don't know how to say this.
She's a representation,
right? She's representing for like black people because I mean she looked like us or what they expect us to look like type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she's real like. She got the hair, like it was bright ass orange hair. She still got her long ass nails, like
unapologetically black.
Right. She looked like what you expect us to look like, type thing. It's like, and she's not sorry about it, you know. So that's why that's the person that you want to root for, type thing. Is you're like when you see her, it's like okay, you gonna see us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you want to
get our little girls hope.
Stuff. Right. Because like. A lot of little girls in the hood and shit, like you could really think like, oh, she looks like me.
I could be a Olympic star.
Like I could be that. So that's why a lot of black people want to root for her and stuff. But
it's understandable.
You know, hopefully this is one of them things that's just like a blip in her career or whatever. So you know, hopefully she'll bounce back on this. Yeah,
I think she'll bounce back this year. Like you said, if she comes back and does her thing,
she's so much faster than everybody else.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's a beast.
When you see her run, like.
She be moving.
She put a real gap in between the next fastest. Like it's a clear difference. It's almost like
when you smoke the Jamaicans.
Yeah,
when you smoke the Jamaicans, you fast them up.
Like, she got to quit smoking with the Jamaicans though.
She's smoking with them.
When you smoke the Jamaicans and Africans, boy,
with weed in the lungs at that, it's like, damn, that's really crazy. You out here been smoking and you still the fastest person out here.
They should reward her for retarding her fastness.
Yeah,
they're saying like how like weed don't give you it don't give you an advantage. Like sometimes some people weed does give them an advantage.
You think so?
I think a lot of people that smoke weed regularly, like that helps them with their calmness or be able to do what they got to do in their sport.
No advantage of those.
Not physically.
It depends. It depends on the person. Weed affects people differently. I think we seen I seen a clip about Percy Harvin the other day. He was talking about how they used to always give him a bunch of medications. He said he felt his best when he smoked weed, and they was like, how much was you smoking like during the season? He was like, there's not a game that I've played while I was not high. So it's like he was like amazing talent,
but he had headaches and stuff. Like I mean, this is like you can't call it a performance enhancement though.
Right. I ain't saying it's a performance enhancement, but it's not. People talk about like it just affects you negatively.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a lot of people do all types of things to cope mentally or to set themselves.
Keep you calm.
You can listen to music and it's not necessarily that just puts you in the right state of mind.
Everybody's different. Some people smoke can't do nothing. Like
right. I mean that's different. I don't think like you said, maybe it's just part of somebody's daily routine. Right. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that it helps them athletically. No.
Yeah, I don't think
they can still do the same thing.
Physically, I don't think it helps anything.
It's just mental.
And
it's your mental.
You can even say emotionally and stuff. It could help, but yeah, I don't know if I could say physically, but it is what it is.
It is.
Do y'all want to get into music stuff, or do we want to talk at all about that one chick that they were talking about, the hammer thrower and the national anthem situation? Flagrant had covered it. Was listening to them.
What? I don't know.
What happened? I don't think I'm.
They're at the trials or whatever qualifications for hammer throwing. And there was a chick that came in third and was on the podium, like turned backwards towards the anthem and the flag or whatever, and they were giving her a hard time about that.
Oh,
I didn't see anything about that.
I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it. It didn't hit my radar at all. So Interesting. I mean, I don't really have a stance on it. I just feel like people need to shut the fuck up when it comes to if you don't want to participate in the national anthem or if somebody doesn't want to, it's just one of them things. It's like, okay, mind your business. It's not disrespectful for
So
somebody
this is like
to
a
have
Kaepernick
different
type thing
beliefs.
again?
Yeah, same general idea. She had said a lot of stuff about like that it wasn't intentional. She wasn't turning her back. She apparently had a shirt that said something about athlete activist or something that she was planning to hold up. There was a lot of controversy around what actually happened. I agree with what you were saying about the national anthem and stuff. Let people do whatever they want to do. That's always been my stance with Kaepernick and the football thing.
Yeah.
I do feel differently in the Olympics.
Because you're representing America.
You're representing the country.
That's true.
Yeah, and that was a lot of the
Why
discussion.
are you even out here?
If anything, it makes more of a statement then to be on that platform where you're representing a country and you're trying to protest or something or whatever.
I could see it make a stronger statement for what that person is trying to get across as their statement.
Right.
I didn't realize until listening to this discussion that you can compete in the Olympics without representing a country.
I didn't know that.
Your flag would be the Olympic flag. So for the Olympic stuff, I don't think you should boycott the anthem or whatever stance you're going to make on the anthem stuff. I do think it's different when you're representing the country. If the country is the problem and you have a thing that you don't want to represent the U.S. because of whatever you believe, that's fine with me.
Right.
But don't represent the U.S. It's I almost kind of looked at it like family drama. Like, you know how you have internal family drama?
Oh, yeah. And now you're putting this in front of the world.
You got problems with your uncles or whatever, cousins, something like that. When we would leave the family function, there would be a moment in time where my family of four would kind of let out frustrations and be like, this is bullshit. This person's doing this, whatever. But like, if we're in front of a group of friends and random people, I wouldn't like, my uncle's a piece of shit. Like, I wouldn't say something that bothered me about family. I don't know. That's just how I looked at it with Olympics.
It's a big family you talking about.
I mean, when you put it that way,
for sure. For sure.
It's like,
I
the
wasn't
world gonna be
aware.
looking regardless.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that you can not represent a country. So
I had no idea until 2 days ago.
That changes everything. Like, yeah, you shouldn't even.
Don't.
You shouldn't be out here.
Don't represent.
Right. You shouldn't be out here. You should have
At the
just.
same time, you probably wouldn't be in there either.
I mean,
if you won't represent the country.
I've never seen anybody
that's what I'm
compete
saying.
that didn't represent a country.
Right, exactly.
So that was
I don't
the
know how
other.
that works.
That was the other argument that was being made, and what I listened to is that when you're a part of the Olympic team, there's a lot of funding and stuff that goes into it. So if you're willing
They'll
to
make a lot of money.
but if you're going to accept the benefit and the funding and the resources that are available for representing the country,
Need that.
I feel like you should just stand there for the anthem and let it be what it is. But it's
That's a
trials.
good take. I can see that. I never understand that side for real. Yeah. Hey.
That was the only other thing that popped into my head sports wise. So I thought we'd just throw that out there talking Olympics anyway. Anything else sports related though before we switch to this music
What's
stuff?
later? Are we getting to Scotty?
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
Oh, for sure.
Scotty's losing his mind.
Scotty Tripp.
So I found out that he's on a bit of a press run because
put out a book.
he has stuff coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Put out a memoir.
So now it makes a lot more sense. But
I think it's called like How It Really Went Down or some shit like that.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
one of them shows like, oh, that's where you going, Scotty?
he's been writing ever since the Jordan doc came out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So he
Scotty
called Phil Jackson the racist because he ain't draw the play up for him in the end of the game.
for the
He gave the
coach,
shot to Coach.
Which he hit and they won the game.
right, and he wasn't a part of.
And I didn't even know this. Stephen A brought this up when he was killing. Stephen A be ready for this shit. The day after that happened, Scotty went with Ahmad Rashad and with an interview and apologized and said it was his fault. He was being selfish and all this other shit right after that. So it's like, if it was racist, why didn't you say that then? Or why did you say it in the last 25 years until?
And then, I mean,
Crazy, bro.
He called him. He said it was racial, and then because he did it on the Dan Patrick show or whatever.
Yeah.
And when he's
Dan pressed him.
He was pressing him. He's trying to get like a real, actual event. Like, what makes you think that he's racist? Because this doesn't scream racism at all. Like, and that's all he didn't provide any other examples of racism. He's just saying, "Oh, wouldn't you have given the ball to Scottie Pippen?" That has nothing to do with race, sir. Like, You're just mad because you thought you were Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan definitely would have got that shot. Michael Jordan would have made that decision. But
my thing is, if you're a basketball fan, right? And Scotty's one of is the top 50 player all time.
Yeah,
all this
top
shit.
50 list.
When was Scotty ever known as a shooter?
No, he's not.
Good question.
He was never known to be that guy. So why would he think he was supposed to be that guy in that moment?
But the thing is, though, he did get. Yeah, they said he got like 2 opportunities prior to them draw.
Right?
And yeah. But he didn't finish the play.
He blew it.
Yeah.
Because that's not his game.
Right. It only made sense for Phil to say,
Phil did the smart thing. I'm going to give the guy that hits these buckets.
We're going to try something else. That's it. It's a coach doing what he's supposed to do.
He did use, his examples was when Kerr hit that shot instead of Jordan. He said
that was so much worse.
He said, no, he was saying like
it was scripted.
How they sold it, like they made it like Michael Jordan. It was like, no, Phil drew up that play for Kerr. And it was like, nah.
He drew
that play up. They gave the ball to Jordan. Jordan got double teamed. He just made the right play.
He made it sound like the whole thing was an act.
Right.
Yeah.
And what we watched unfold in the huddle was fake. We all knew that Kerr was supposed to get that. Like, no.
And he
that was crazy,
is it an act of him hitting the shot? Because he still hit the fucking shot, Scotty. Like you can't act that out. No. You know, like
it doesn't make any sense.
We can't just say, oh, well, he didn't make it that time. Let's reshoot it until he does hit that shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, these are real events that happen. It's not just for the camera and stuff. I mean, he sounds completely ridiculous. And did you know this motherfucker, after he retired, the same person that he called a racist in Phil Jackson, he worked for later in life.
I didn't know
he
that.
was on Phil Jackson's staff.
He did.
For a couple years. So if you call this person a racist, then why do you work for him later in your life after your basketball career is done with? Makes zero sense about what the shit that you're talking about.
All to sell a book, Scotty, is low.
Yeah, I've always thought highly of Scotty, and even after like the doc came out, I think it's fair to say like he probably got piled on, or at least like the other side of the story wasn't given a few times where it made him look bad, but I didn't think of him really negatively. But after this, throw somebody under the bus as a racist that you played for, worked for, and apparently have had a relationship with to some extent just to sell a book, that's some loser shit. I'm all for Scott.
The Bulls doc or whatever really opened up the door to how much bitch assness Scotty had. And his response to it just solidified that, you just got a lot of bitch assness in you.
He proved
you just proved that you just a bitch in this situation.
He's a woman scorn.
He's
a woman scorn. That's how he's acting.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bro, you can't just go out here. Look, Phil Jackson is 80-something years old. You don't make it to 80 years old and then somebody calls you a racist.
Working in basketball.
You know what I'm saying?
In the NBA.
We would have known he was a racist 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
This is something we would have known about Phil. Right. Yeah. Right. Somebody would have exposed about. You don't make it to 80 years old and then you're a racist. No.
You could make it to 80 years old and then you a rapist.
Oh, so I guess
I've seen the opportunity.
I guess we can move on. That was a good transition. It was pretty good.
It was.
So you know what I mean? Are we off done with Scotty?
We're done with Scotty. Let's go ahead.
Bill's free.
Bill's free. Free my man Bill Cosby. It went to the Supreme Court. They overturned it. They said that pretty much what he was charged for is saying that he gave the woman Quaaludes or whatever, but in a trial from 2005, he'd already admitted that, and they had agreed that he couldn't be charged
criminally. He was in a civil case
for that anymore. But the fucked up thing is, like, didn't they have this information when he went to trial the first time?
So I think that I didn't read a lot onto this, but what I read to try to understand what happened was, I believe the district attorney that prosecuted when he actually went to jail was different than the person that was involved in this older trial, 05.
Right, yeah, I'm sure.
So there was an agreement that would not be able to be used against him for prison time.
Yeah, double
for
jeopardy,
criminal charge.
So he then put himself on the stand and testified I guess under the impression or the interpretation that he would not be able to go to prison based off of that information.
Right.
Yeah, off his deposition.
So because they allowed information that wasn't supposed to be allowed in the trial, it's overturned at this point. I think that's the right thing to do, in that if the guidelines were not followed, and if you're told you can testify and we can't hold it against you, and then you testify and they hold it against you,
exactly.
you should be allowed to go free.
Yeah.
But everything that I've read and seen still shows that with the information he provided, it was enough to convict him as guilty. So this is a weird situation to me. It's a technicality similar to if they don't read you your rights when you get arrested and you can get off of it even if you're guilty.
I think that's the issue right now. People think because he released that means he's not guilty now. Yeah. And that's not the case. He was found guilty. He got released because of a technicality and how they found him guilty.
No, but at that point, then he's not found guilty. It's completely wiped. He's not charged with anything at this point.
But this is a really, but we're saying a really simple thing here. I'm willing to admit, legally he should be allowed to go free based off of what happened.
Right.
Morally, he's still as guilty of what he did.
I don't know.
If you want to celebrate that, then
I think it's
celebrate.
only fair to say that we don't know what happened. Or we don't know what he did.
But that's how you feel.
All
that's how you
allegations
feel.
At this point.
I mean,
that's just how it's going to stay.
It was allegations, and then he confirmed the allegations with his deposition. That's why they charged him with the crime.
This is 2005.
Like you can't. They had nothing to charge him with the crime until he said out his own mouth what he was doing.
Yeah, he testified.
He testified to what he did. So it's like he said that thinking that he couldn't get charged. And they did. So that was what the wrongdoing was. It wasn't that he didn't do it, because he admitted to it. He admitted to doing these things. Where I'm like,
he didn't admit to sexual assault, brother.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. That's what he's charged with. He did not admit
his story
to
lined
assault.
up with the allegations, is what it says.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. We can't keep on saying he admitted to this. No, he didn't admit to sexual assault. He admitted to doing a popular drug and providing a popular drug.
And he admitted to having sex with him.
Yeah, right. But I mean, like, again, he didn't say it was not consensual at any point in time.
And this is where the void comes of the non-consensual thing, which I know is a very gray area these days.
No, I mean, it's not.
And when we hashed it out for about an hour the other day about like, all right, and you were saying it's the same thing if anybody else does something, and then they said, like, first of all, even if they was all willingly taking this drug, right, and had all the intentions to have sex with Bill, if they passed out, all bets are off. You can't still have sex with them.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's what it is.
I'm saying, the only thing that I'm saying from that is we don't know who was passed out or if anybody actually, just because you take a drug or a sedative doesn't mean you're automatically knocked out. He wasn't hitting these bitches with chloroform and fucking passing them out and throwing them in the back of a van and taking them off to the woods somewhere. We don't know the level of consciousness that anybody had or during any of this time.
Oh no.
That's all I'm saying is
you're taking
you
a
can
drug
take a drug
that's
that is
used to put you to sleep. Like that's the
my brother. People take
that's the reason they were selling. It was a sleeping aid drug.
Most drugs are sedatives, though. Most drugs that you take are going to have a level of drowsiness to them. That doesn't mean it automatically knocks you out. A very popular drug today is lean. You can sip lean, and that doesn't mean you're going to go to sleep. That doesn't mean you're going to be unconscious and not know or be aware of what happened.
9 times out of 10, that's the end result of drinking lean.
No, you could be a functional. You could be a functional person on these things. That's all I'm saying. We don't know. We know, okay, what the drug of choice was back then, but we don't know the level of effects. We don't know if anybody was unconscious. All we know is hearsay and she say, he say and she say type shit.
No. And
I think that's only fair.
It was outlawed for a reason. It would still be sold if it was just being used in the proper way, is all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, people outlaw drugs all the time for certain things.
They outlaw lean.
You can't use it illegally.
I mean, yeah, you can abuse any drug. You can abuse any
That's
drug.
what I'm saying.
But they only outlaw shit when it gets to a certain level where people are abusing this and hurting people with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's it, you know.
I mean, but look, people, like, have you ever seen the movie, what is that shit called?
Kids.
No, Wolf of Wall Street.
I don't know why I just thought of that movie first.
Same thing I thought of too.
Wolf of Wall Street.
I did see that movie.
He took Quaaludes. That was his drug of choice was Quaaludes.
Right.
The guy from Wolf of Wall Street. That was his drug of choice. That's what they were doing back then. Is they pop Quaaludes all the time.
Personal opinion.
That's all I'm saying.
He used to smoke crack recreationally too.
He did that too.
Having nothing to do with the law, personal opinion. Do you believe that he did anything wrong?
My personal opinion, though, because I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and call anybody guilty unless I have evidence or of that fact. I'm not gonna. I don't base my life off of like he say, she say type stuff. Like I wasn't involved, I wasn't around, so I'm not gonna say that you're guilty of just because somebody else is pointing a finger at you. You know, they would have to really lay out a real convincing story for me to believe that. And it's just,
all right, my thing is
not
like,
happen that way.
I can understand that point that you're making if it was just like one or two off things that happened years ago. But when you have like, when you show a track record and then you confirm it with what you say out your mouth of what you was going on, it's a different thing. It's the same thing with R. Kelly. Like, there's a track record of you doing this and this and this and this and this and this. So even if it, like I say, like it was 40, I don't know how many people was to get accused Cosby. It could have been 40, 50 of them. If it was if 49 of them was lying and there was just one, you still was doing something wrong. You did something wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I get that. And it's certainly not a good look or whatever. But at the same time, it's just, to me, I look at it holistically. Like, all right, so it's a possibility that all 40 of them or half of them or whatever could be telling the truth. But it's also a possibility that all of them could be lying or half of them could be lying or whatever that is as well too. I keep my mind open from that perspective. And when I look at it, it's just like the more people that come out and say, agree or have the same or similar allegations, I look at it from like a logical standpoint of, if it's so many people, what are the odds that nobody said anything for this amount of time? I feel like your odds would increase of somebody saying something the more people that it is. And I don't get that how it can last so long.
Now you're making it like the victims had the power in this. Bill Cosby was Bill Cosby.
No doubt.
So it's like, it's a different dynamic. So it ain't just a free lane. He probably had payoffs and all type of shit going on to make sure he was clear. He had the power and the money to do so.
This is all speculation of what you're talking about. Like, you're just perpetuating something that we don't, or saying about something that we have no idea of this happening. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is all created in your own mind because of his public perception that's been ruined, and that's just not fair. It's not fair in trial.
I think your way of thinking is a better way to do it, to assume innocence until there's proof of guilt. I think there's a willingness for every single person in the world to connect point A and point B and point C and connect the dots and try to figure out what happened in certain situations. And then there's other situations where we're more cautious about accepting point A to point B to point C and connecting those dots. And I think that's a bias that is built into all of us. When there's something that we're more familiar with, we can say, oh, it makes sense how this could happen, and they didn't do anything wrong. And then there's other situations that we're less familiar with that we're like, until you can prove that this and this happened, I'm not going to believe it. So my frustration with Bill Cosby, R. Kelly conversations with you, and why I don't participate in them, is because I believe that your stance is only on this because you've made these comments when we've had this discussion before. These are only your feelings because those two are black men. Yeah. When there's situations when there's not a recorded video of a
you had to be in the room.
When there's not a recorded video of a police argument, there's a much more of a willingness to connect point A, B, C, D and say the cop was wrong, even though we still don't know that situation either. So I find it frustrating, but it is what it is. None of us are going to know what happened with Bill. I think there's enough evidence to make me believe he probably is guilty. I don't know for sure, so I don't care that he's out. I really don't.
Another thing I think it plays a factor.
It is what it is.
He's 80. Let him die.
It's his
I don't
age.
care, man.
Yeah,
It's his
right.
age.
He's old,
if he was
man.
35 and they just released a convicted rapist out on the streets, it would be uproar.
Right.
But the fact
That's
he's
true.
80 years old, look like he can hardly even move and, walk. He ain't about to hurt nobody now.
Let's
like,
say wrongfully convicted. Let's say things like wrongfully convicted.
why is it wrongfully?
Because that's what
he
it
was
was proven
wrongfully
to be,
convicted.
brother.
Okay.
You can't keep on
I
saying
think
that
that's
this man
fair
is
wording.
guilty and he wasn't. That's all I'm saying. You can't keep saying these things.
But it wasn't wrong in the sense that they got what he did wrong. He did what he did.
They didn't do
the way they went about it was wrong.
The
That's
process
the
of
difference.
justice
That's
was
the difference.
incorrect.
The way they went about it was wrong. Not that the conviction was wrong.
But we could argue Bill Cosby for 4 hours.
I
I think y'all already did. I muted the chat during all of that. But keeping it with legal issues,
yeah.
you are a correspondent for the Gangsters. Tell us what's going on with the Gangsters' legal problems.
Man, Pooh Shiesty, it just gets worse for him as the weeks go along, man. It's just he really living out his music.
He trying to Bobby Smurder himself right now, ain't he?
Did he put? I heard he put out that. I heard there's a song where he says something about getting in trouble, but I still can't quit robbing. Was that put out after, or is this just like an old song they're
not
going
sure.
back and finding?
It's
lyrics?
probably just this is just what he do. So yeah, I mean, it's just an
It's
older
just something
song.
old. Okay.
He must not have got the memo when they said they can start using your music in cases now.
Apparently, not.
He's another artist that recently got arrested, or he's been incarcerated actually.
Yeah.
But some indictments came down, some federal charges. So I mean, they got a strong case. Really, I don't know what his lawyers can say about what went on here. I don't know how they can defense this. But Pooh Shiesty pulls up in a rented McLaren at some place to meet a couple guys in Miami to buy some marijuana and some like high-end sneakers or whatever. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe some Jordans or something like that.
What a combo.
Maybe some kind of designer shoes.
Let me get a 2-piece and a quarter.
Well, apparently what transpired is that Pooh Shiesty robbed these guys and also shot them. I think both men were shot. I know one of them got shot in the butt.
Like this recently happened.
This year. I think it happened 2020, before he actually got locked up.
Got you.
But the thing about it is that makes it, well, first of all, you did all of this shit in a McLaren. But when I tell you that everything is on a security camera,
Oh, really?
everything.
Yeah, I seen
I
a
don't
little
know how
clip.
you can
Oh,
defend this.
no.
The whole thing is on camera.
It's on camera.
I didn't know that.
The man is running out shot, and you hopping in your whip and
He's done.
speeding off.
He's done.
And he's already has these charges. He got the thing that happened in the club recently where he shot somebody. Yeah, he had another pending charge. Pooh Shiesty, he might have threw his career away. Because at this point, he's like such at the beginning stages. He hasn't really established himself or put real footing into the ground at all. He looking at like, Pooh Shiesty might have to do 10 years.
Who really locked up?
Hey, you got to
Before
lock
he
him
gets
up. You got to lock him. He's addicted to shooting people.
See, this is the
lock
case,
him up.
though.
You
This
got
is the
to.
case where
You gotta
I'm
get it
not.
off the streets.
This is the case where I can't defense Pooh Shiesty to say,
Because you got the video.
we got video evidence.
Got video evidence.
We can see it. I'm like,
Can you imagine if he had
I
like
can only
a
hope.
sex tape peeing on little girls or something? That would be crazy.
I haven't seen
wild.
it.
That would be
I
wild.
haven't seen it. And I wouldn't want to.
I shouldn't have said
You're
that.
a sick person if you
shouldn't
watch
have
that.
done
Unless you're
Agreed. That's
you're,
true.
you're sick.
That's a good point. That's a great
Who's
point.
watching
I
this
haven't watched
anyway? But anyway, look, I don't know what to say about Pooh Shiesty, man. You just
Sounds like trouble.
this was supposed to be a great year for you. You made the double XL, and you're not gonna be able to experience any of this. But hey, that's what these artists want nowadays, I guess. You gotta stay real.
I can get into my label shit and shit right now, but I ain't gonna even do it.
What do you mean label shit?
I don't know, man. Like, y'all knew who this dude was.
Before you gave money?
They knew who this dude was.
So what's that mean?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know who he signed to, so I don't know if I want to even take it there to a label thing. But it's just like,
Do you think they're responsible to keep him in
I'm
line?
not saying responsible. But it's just one of them things, like, because you're going to see a lot of Pooh Shiesty shit come out now. It's going like, the content ain't going to stop. Like I think the Double XL shit about to come out, them freestyles, he still did all that. That's all in the bag. All that shit gonna come out. See, he got a new single with Juicy J out, he in the video and all that. I see the content's still gonna flow, even though he probably not gonna be out of jail for a long time right now. So it's like, I don't know. Not that's to put in responsibility, but there's some things that could have been like, all right, we gotta get this man in a better situation so he won't feel like he can just go rob people in McLaren. Like, it's obviously ignorance there.
He seems clearly unable to be reached.
Yeah.
But he's gonna need those singles. He's gonna need those singles to come out.
Yeah.
He's gonna need it as much as they will. I do see what you're saying.
I mean, think about being locked up, you can't do nothing with that money that you make off.
But you got family and stuff that need it.
How much money are you really even making off of it? Like,
that's true too.
He probably not making that much money off of his streams like that.
That's true too.
He's so early in his career.
But you know who will?
Gucci Man gonna make a lot of money.
Whoever owns his music.
If he's not getting enough, if he's too early, they will drop him and move on from him quickly.
Right.
I think. They're only gonna keep him if he's valuable.
I think we'll see an album come out.
Probably.
We'll still see a lot of Pooh Shiesty. I think a lot of shit he already got done that was on, like, you on Double XL freshman cover.
Right.
You know you got some shit coming out.
Right, that's for
without
sure.
it is all alone. So shit gonna come out in the next few months. Like he's still out, and then he probably get the hype for the free Pooh Shiesty shit.
Nah, don't free Pooh.
It'll be out, and then by next year,
keep him locked
we're
up.
gonna be not thinking about Pooh Shiesty anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you get, unless you have a well-established career, really, if you do 2 to 3 years, your shit you pretty much done. Unless you have like a well-established career,
like Kodak.
Yeah, but you really had to probably put in at least about 4 or 5 years of groundwork and got like hits or.
We still haven't heard a Bobby song.
I think they're coming though.
But he hasn't.
I've seen him in the studio.
Yeah, he has. But still, I mean, and he gonna have a little bit of buzz, but that shit could die if Bobby don't hit with the first one. That shit gonna die out so fast because he doesn't have that well established. We didn't know what Bobby could do. We still don't.
No, I agree with you.
One good song, really, because Bobby Bitch is an awful song. I think it really displayed that to me how much of a one hit.
It was a hard record when it came out.
It was hard because people was on that whole. If that shit would have came out,
I think it's more so
that
than
would be
just
his
the
lead
music
single
with him though. Like he brought like a wave, like it was like a storm that was building up when he came out with GS9 and all them off that big ass record.
It's the hot niggas.
So of course it died down after he got locked up for 6 years. But I don't know. I think he can still be successful. I think he'll still be all right.
You gotta have somewhat of a career.
You talking about Bobby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Not if you don't put music out.
True, but I think
I never looked at him as a good artist before.
It's coming.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't.
He just had that. He had a buzz at that one time. He had that one hit. So,
especially all the love and support he getting, he's gonna get all the right pieces. People are gonna make sure they handle him correctly to where he's gonna be good. I don't think he's gonna flop and fade out type shit.
Bro, I think but you still have to have like longevity. You have to have talent for longevity. I don't care if people have personal preference.
But right now, he still got all the industry support right now.
He definitely do. But how much? That only buys you so much time.
That's true. You got to take advantage of it.
It only buys you so much time. I don't see Bobby Shmurda as a guy who's going to take over the rap game or even. I don't know. I don't see him skilled enough to be.
I ain't saying that he about to be the top in the game.
No,
like that, but he can create his buzz. He can do what he do.
Maybe a little something. Maybe a little something. I'm just saying. I just never seen him. I always seen him as a one hit wonder type guy.
I mean,
that's it.
He got locked up right after this one hit.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah. What can you do? What we got?
New music. There wasn't a whole lot of new music this week, and I hate to tap out of the argument or the discussion here, but I didn't listen to really anything. I listened to the Brent Fires Drake joint.
Dope record.
The one that you sent me was Division, Ty Dolla, and Mac
Miller. Dope
that
record.
one I really liked a lot.
Dope record.
What was the one that you sent that I really liked? YNW
and Queen
Naija
or whatever. That was tight.
Those are the only 3 songs that I listened to, remember listening to. I listened to the 1G Herbo joint you sent me. It was cool with 21, but I don't have a lot of take here yet. Sorry, fellas.
I mean, the highlight of the week was the Drake and Brent Fayez song.
Yeah,
that's an incredible record.
Really dope. Man, it took so long to get to Drake's part, though.
It's a long song. It's like a 5-minute
It's
record.
long as fuck. I'm like, damn, is Drake even all this shit?
And then he spit for a while too.
Yeah, he did. It was tight. It was a good verse. Good. I mean, classic Drake.
Neptune's beat sound like some early 2000s Neptune's vibe.
With it. Oh, you know what? Young and Age dropped his debut album as well.
I did see that. Did you check that
out? Betrayal times 2 times or whatever. That was pretty fire. I mean, it's solid. I mean, he just really, I don't know. He don't really have a lot of his content really isn't diverse at all. I mean, he pretty much talking about gunplay in every song. It's going to be gun them down or how the ops and all this. It's pretty much the same content throughout the entire album. But he's a solid artist though.
All right. Should I open it up?
No, probably not.
Right. I'm just gonna let it go.
You gonna say that's what I always listen to?
That's what all of them talk about.
No, that's
like,
not.
What's different?
That's if you only listen to the surface. That's not what like a guy like Lil Papa talks about in his music. That's not what Kodak talks about in his music. That's not what Rod Wave talks about in his music all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just that. Like, if you just looking at surface level, maybe, or certain singles, they're gonna have that stuff. But if you're looking at like the embodiment of their work and all of that stuff, you'll really see, you'll know who these people are.
Rod Wave and Kodak are the better of all of that. They have done it the best, and so to speak. But I feel like all of them are still in the same category to me.
Hey, I don't want Rod in none of these categories, but I hear
they just do it the best. I mean, Rod, he sing R&B songs. This is a whole different thing.
He is depressed. He gets depressed and then shoots
he
him
ain't even
up.
rapping. It's just like
I respect that.
Bunch of emotional music.
What did you think of G Herbo though? That's your guy, right?
I thought it was solid. It's a pretty decent album. Like a couple flips he did on there, a couple samples. He did a sample. He used that. You remember in what's that movie called? It just slipped my mind with Doughboy.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. He used that sample where they was talking about "Let Me Out, Doe" when they was riding to go hit the dudes. He used that sample in one of the songs. A song called Doughboy. I thought that was a tight flip.
That's
so remind me of that movie. But he had a couple dope records on there. It's a solid project. Fuck with Herbo.
I'm gonna have to give it a listen.
Herbo does what he does. He ain't do nothing out of the realm of what he already does, but it's a solid project.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. I had a few people that don't really listen to him much that said it was really good.
Yeah,
I saw Polo G on there. Saw
some dope features.
Kid Leroy
on there.
So I'm gonna check it out, but I just didn't get a chance to listen to anything at all. Really,
I'm solid.
I got to give it a listen. I've probably never listened to a G Herbo album ever, but
I can see that.
I give him 1 or 2 maybe songs, and if he don't impress me after the 1 or 2, then it's over.
It's one of them albums you like though. It's on like a couple features. A lot of it's just him.
Yeah, I mean that's how it's supposed to be. Give me your story. That's what I want to know. I want to know your story. That's it. In your albums, shit.
Did you have anything this week that you were listening to?
Oh no, those are just pretty much the top things. I didn't, like I said, I listened to that Life of Betrayal, the Drake and shit, and then
check out that Young Buck.
No, I'm not listening to Young Buck
He
music.
put out a project.
No, I didn't even notice.
No, I'm not gonna listen to no Young Buck music probably.
Yeah, I won't either, but I didn't even see it. That's funny.
Yeah, but I was like, Young Buck, okay.
Don't ask Juvie about that.
Or 50.
Well, before we wrap up, man, I gotta bring it up, man.
Uh-oh.
It's a sad day for the sniper gang community. Some things.
There's beef within
the sniper gang community.
Batman and Robin have split ways. We knew something like was going on because since Kodak been out, like they've always been like brothers type thing. Kodak and Jack Boy, whatever, they've been like brothers like this Kodak's entire career. They always
fake
been
love to me.
They always been around each other and shit. But since Kodak been home, like everybody been asking like where Jack Boy at, because we literally see no pictures with them, like 2 of them together, and like you would think they would be doing songs and shit together because they always used to do it.
That boy put out some records too. I like that joint with Russ. That's a solid record.
Yeah. I mean,
a couple jumps. Yeah.
While Kodak was locked up, honestly, Jack Boy went on a good run for himself to establish like a legit career for himself. But like I said, we thought they was gonna come home and kind of like tag team it up. But apparently, it's been animosity and between the two, and just like I guess things have been going right on the business level, and it's real beef. So it sucks. And
you got no details for us? What the beef is about?
Not really.
I mean, you're an insider.
No,
bro.
it's really they both went on Instagram, but they ain't really give like no details. I think it was Jack Boy ran it up while Kodak was locked up or whatever. But when he was running it up, of course, he signed to Kodak. So it's like Kodak funding all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So all of your music videos and stuff, it's just like it's an advance that you get from the record label. And you got to pay that advance back eventually. And I think Jack Boy was on some funny shit like not trying to pay or whatever. And not owning up or doing it, business the correct way. So I think that's kind of how it started, and they was trying to keep it cool with each other, but things just kind of boiled over.
You riding with Batman or Robin?
Oh, I'm a Kodak fan, man.
Of course.
But I mean, I fuck with Jack Boy and whatever.
I think the first, of course, he from where he from and all that. First mistake he made was signing to Kodak. To me, but hey, he probably wouldn't have got the opportunity if it wasn't Kodak. So maybe that's all.
Right. How many? He would have never gotten the opportunity to be a rapper at that point.
What it is. You got to do.
It's just hey, that's what happened. You sign your a deal, but you gotta live up to it and honor it and all of that stuff. But
I think it's always a bad thing to do with signing with an artist that's still figuring their shit out.
That's still trying to build that career.
Because they're not going to be really worried about making sure you straight if they still figuring their own shit out.
Right.
Wait till an artist is established, he set his career in stone.
Or retired almost.
Well, not even that, because you can be established enough to be like, all right, I'm taking my career to the next level. I'm starting a label. I'm gonna build up my artists and all this shit.
Kodak isn't quite in the place where like a Gucci man would be. You know what I'm saying? Like Gucci been in the game for like 15 years now. It's like he don't really have that many wants going forward.
His legacy is set.
Right. It is what it is, and he can really devote a lot of time or energy putting out Pooh Shiesties and
with that being said, you can also give Gucci credit because a lot of times in his career, he found artists and gave them to people that could actually handle them at the time because he was still in the middle of his career.
Right.
Like with Young Thug, or he gave him the Baby and Migos, he gave him the QC. Like he found these artists first, but he gave them to people that was already in the position to be able to handle these artists instead of him taking them on while he's in the middle of his career. That's how he's supposed to handle it.
That is impressive.
And this all goes back to about because all of the people that Kodak has signed and shit has pretty much been like his friends or people that he fuck with. Yeah. And it ain't even off the. It's not even off the strength of like, oh, you a buzzing artist out here. It's just like, I want to give you an opportunity. I want to help you get up out the streets because you're my man or whatever.
It's a rocky road.
But yeah, it's a rocky road. Let's go back to our conversations about friends with money and stuff like that. And like, it's just even like I said, the closest friends. Once you get to a certain level of money, or Jack Boy probably felt like when Kodak was locked up, like he the man right now, or he probably got a sense like, oh, I can do this too.
Like I'm holding it down for you.
Right. And so it changed his mentality. Like I ain't a soldier no more. I want to be the boss too, or whatever. Like all of that stuff can change when you mixing friends with money and stuff like that, and friends owing each other money, and it just fucks up everything. So yeah, it's a tough conversation. But SG still intact. You feel me? So
don't say intact. It's just Kodak.
SG still intact.
Sad day in the hip hop world.
Yeah.
Okay, we all will mourn.
Yeah, Kodak's response to that was to say that he pretty much don't care about all the money he got from Jack Boy or in the course of his career. So he hopped on the boat and threw $100K into the ocean. And he also flushed some money down the toilet as well on Instagram.
Oh, he being
like $1,000.
If there's one thing I know Kodak gonna do, he gonna put the disrespect on top of it.
Oh, for sure. For sure, yeah.
He gonna put some extras on top of it. I'm
just like, damn, bro. I don't know if I'd ever get to the point where, even if I'm making a ton of money, if I could throw $100K
That's
into
some
the ocean.
Stupid shit, man.
It's pretty dumb. I mean, I couldn't do it, but
That's completely retarded.
You get to the point where you just don't give a fuck no more, I guess. I mean, you might, but we've seen artists like burn money and shit like that and flex and stuff.
They're stupid as shit too.
Yeah,
and when I see people do that, I hope they go broke. I don't care. I don't care if that's wrong. I don't care if it's right, bad karma, whatever.
You don't appreciate what you got right now.
I want people like that to go broke and lose it all. It is what it is.
Yeah, hey, whatever. We got some samples today, fellas.
Yeah. Anything else to cover?
I don't think I got a sample today.
Oh, Moses slacking.
No, you got the one from last week, bro. We didn't sample last week.
No, we used to. Remember we went ahead and did it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you
went ahead and did it.
Right.
Well,
you're right.
If you're on YouTube, then that's a wrap for this week, episode 105. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be back next week. If you're on the audio, we got these samples coming.